your girl, K to the S to the B, KSB. And this is your program, Lighthouse with KSB. It's so good to know that a part of your life, a part of you, via, a talk show like this. No, apart from watching me on TV, apart from my video, now it is us. Let us jive. It's unfortunate that you won't be able to talk back. I am the one doing the talking. What are we talking about today? We're talking about that thing that's going to make the best out of you. That thing that is waiting for you. That thing that the whole world wants to celebrate you for. But they're waiting for you to let it out. And that is the best of you. I don't know your name. Let me put Jane Best. But I'm willing to change everybody's surname now to Best. Best. Just as I did to my name. Because life is worth us living the very best of it. No, anybody living a good life does not have two heads. So why not you? Having said that, I've been welcoming you again back to Lighthouse. And after the short break, we shall be talking about today's topic, Lighthouse with KSB. You're welcome back. Today we're talking about something that's it's not so straightforward, but it can be straightforward after today, after we talk about it. And then it's built around something called, is it something, a phenomenon or a sickness or an enemy called poverty. But even before we go into that, I would like to get your feedback from the last episodes. We've had 2 episodes now. From the last episode, what do you think? What do you want to know more about what I talked about, or what's your view? I would like to know. So you can follow me on Twitter at Kennison Best, spelled KENNYSAINTBEST, Kennison Best. That's on Twitter. What on Facebook? I'm still maintaining my account as Kennison Brown. So you might just want to follow. Follow. Always full, but you can make a direct talk back at me, and I would definitely respond. Having said that, we are looking at a phenomenon which is called poverty, and it's not just poverty now. And that's the trick there. There's a word there's a saying that somebody is a saying. There's an analogy, that somebody put across to me the very last week. And I had never seen looking at life situation in such a manner. And it popped like this. Say, poverty is the easiest problem to solve. Poverty is the easiest problem to solve. Because why? Money can solve it. What is the thing that is becoming, an issue in your life? Poverty. You need money to pay house rent. The money is not there. Or you are planning your wedding because of money. You can't. There are some states in Nigeria, you just, the money, all the things you need to buy, but then they give you a list and be like, I beg, hold yourself, Or is it that, if you want to pay school fees or you want to pay for something, everything is about money. Getting a new car, even getting to work. Sometimes there is nothing in the pocket and you must get to work. So it's a poor state. It's not even a permanent state, but in some cases it's beginning to look like it's a permanent state. But somebody actually said it's the easiest problem to solve because money can solve it. And since then I've started looking at poverty cheaply. It doesn't scare me. Not that I'm in that state, but sometimes I can find myself, anybody can find him or herself in such a state that you have an issue with money, you have a target, and then you need this amount of money to deal with it, and you don't have it. You don't have enough. You reach out to a friend, nobody can help. And so it becomes like, it's a big problem, it becomes like a monster. But however big it gets, Money can solve it. Once somebody, how much is it? This is $1 million. Pow, 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 pow. Take. And you smile and you go to church and give a testimony. That problem has been solved. How much is it? Your house rent? 250K, 100,000, 50,000. School fees, you need to get a form. Okay, 2,500, as little as that. Hey, papa, take, go and solve it. Poverty is the easiest problem to solve because monies can solve it. Now let's go see this video and we'll come back and talk more about this phenomenon, why it's such a cheap problem and it can be solved. Program Lighthouse, that's the light right there, Lighthouse with KSB, and today we're talking about problems that money can solve, and then there are problems money can't solve. So I said that poverty is the cheapest problem. Is the however it can harass you, that's nothing, because once they count that money into your hand, is sorted. But what about those problems that money can't solve? We're seeing it now. It didn't look like problems because they don't come often. Poverty looks like problem because it's a constant, it's occurrence. But these other ones, because they don't reoccur frequently, they're tough. These are life's challenges. It stares you in the face. Imagine your husband, you wake up in the morning. You went to bed with your husband in the night, and then to wake up in the morning and you're saying, darling, good morning. And he's right there staring you in the face. He's been struck by a stroke. Or he's been struck by a stroke. Darling, hello, sweetheart, honey, and it has affected his voice, vocal cord, everything from here to, and he's actually there, staring you in the face, and I saying helpless, hoping that, see now, baby, he even wants to say, baby, honey, darling, mama, Ichena, and he just can't. But the bank account is stacked up with money. What do you do? So how do you weigh that? How do you put it on the scale? Because it's a life's challenge that you have to get over with. How do you put it on the scale? What happens in such a situation where you are faced with a problem that money can't solve? Okay, let's take the case of you are right there in your sitting room and then you're watching TV, and before you know it, boy, a plane dropped on your head. It's not funny. I mean, so it's not a case of, I bought a ticket and I flew whichever airline, and I somehow the plane crashed. What about that? You didn't even buy any ticket. You're right there in the sitting room, and then a plane crashed on your head. You're happy to be alive to tell the tale, or you're not, or you are amputated because of a problem that was not your own. Okay, compare that with the case of poverty, like you are looking for money to solve the problem. How do you deal with that? Because sometimes we make it look like if I don't have this money, the world is going to come to an end. When needing money is not the biggest problem, it's the least of all the problems in the world. Needing money to do something. Is your case of, say, 5 years in marriage, you're looking for the fruit of the womb. And then you've gone from hospital to hospital. You've been on all manner of pills. In fact, you have become a guinea pig that they're now using you to test which formula will work, which experiment will work. IVF, how many IVF? Failed IVF, low sperm count, too much sperm count, ovary functioning. Now, hello, you don't want to know what people are facing, the kind of torment for the fact that they're looking for a baby. The money is there, but you can't get the baby. Do you understand? So now, I will talk about what to do. It's not as if I have answers or that big. But personally, I have been through issues that made me to ask for death. And I laid in bed for 3 days waiting for death to take me. And so it wasn't an issue. It was a case of blackmail. What do you even do in the case of blackmail? In the case of betrayal, what do you do in a case of betrayal? You know, in a case of low self-esteem, you know, it's a case of shame, mega shame. You can't, all that you thought you had, you know, has been washed down the gutters. And then something still says you arise and then shine. That's Lighthouse. That's why we're doing this program. How do you arise and shine in the middle of gross darkness in your life, or in the life of someone you love, or around your life, or around the people? It can even be darkness that sweeps across the country, a nation. Look at the nation of Japan, how natural disaster jammed act of God, then act of man. They had tsunami or what, earthquake in the water causing a tsunami, and then that now going to unleash their weapons, weapons of mass destruction that they created for wars that they would never see. And so all of these upon one nation. Do you blame God? Do you blame man? Do you blame intuition? And so you can't do nothing. That's the truth. That is when to stop. Just stop. You cry. Let the tears come. Let them give you a bowl and then feel it. It has happened. It has happened. Sorry. It's here to cause a 360 turn in your life. But if you know how to handle it, it will be for good. It will never be for worse. This is a tough thing. I'm shivering inside because I'm bringing the truth to you. Not that because I had someone that had stroke, so I don't know your pain. Yes, I don't know your pain. But I know the truth that can set you free, that can bring that healing to you. And a measure of it, may not be all of it. And it's just to apply that balm on your heart, your soul, your spirit, and let you heal. We have this time to heal. That's the news. It's time for you talk more about that after the next music break.
It is always good to give thanks and praise to the Most High God.
All the time.
This is Annie and Sammy coming with thanksgiving to the Most High. Oh, Baba. Ogene Uwarunado. Oh, Baba. Uwarunado. Oh, Baba. Ogene Uwarunado. Oh, Baba. Uwarunado.
Overwhelmed with emotions with the topic of today, which is saying that is an affirmation that poverty is the simplest problem to have because money can solve it. And what if your problem or the challenges you're facing, or one challenge cannot be solved by money or with money? What do you do? And we've talked about a lot of examples, and then we talk about reasons. Not basically reasons, instances and how people have not been able to handle it. And now we want to talk about, in closing, we want to talk about what we can do. Know that it can cure, but it can heal. And not that it will be instant, but it will be gradual. The first you need to do is don't stay alone. You need people. You need love. You need family. You need church. You need light. Because it's gross darkness that has covered you up. You need someone to bring a spark of light into your life such that the darkness does not overwhelm you. If that's overwhelmed you, such that the burden can be taken away from your shoulder, or the burden can be lightened. Because we say, I hear there's a saying that says, a problem shared is a problem half solved. And so let people come around you, or you go around people. Share the problem with people. Let them know what kind of help they can bring, because you don't speak, they don't know. And you get bitter, you get angry, thinking, and you throw a pity party because you think the whole world is against you or nobody cares about you. No. Please spread your arms so that people can lift you up and embrace you and use their blanket to give you warmth in times like this. That's one on the part of humor. And another thing is, the more people know what your problems are, there are a lot of non-governmental organizations that are probably seen to the need of what you're going through right now. There are people, there are groups, there are associations, there are churches, that have given themselves into helping people, into relief support. Let me put it like that, bringing relief, to people that are victims of act of God, act of man, and this. But in a case of that, a case of death, you just let God be God. You can't stop life like that. You can't stop living because of what happened. It's time to live again. It's time to open up your heart for the light to come in and shine. Open the windows of your heart. Open the doors. Let the cobwebs be taken out. Let all the bats, you know, and all all manner of things that have taken over your soul, making it dark. And even the demons now taking up advantage of it through bitterness. And then you're bitter, and then the bitterness is destroying the roots of your soul. Let it all out. Let it out. It's time to forgive. It's time to forget. It's time to let go and let God. It's time to live again. It's time for that turnaround, because it has brought a turning point into your life. But would you let the wheel of your life rotate to experience the new movements? It's new circulation of blood, circulation of hormones, freshness. It's time to open up for love again. It's time for new songs to be played into your soul. It's time for you to go on that vacation. It's time for you to go take a phone and call that friend, even though he wronged you. It's time to be beautiful again. Get up, do the makeup, go for a photo shoot, go on a holiday, go on a vacation, go to the party. Let the people see you. You've been blackmailed, and now everybody's calling you names. Go to where those people are and let them know that it hasn't done you anything except what it has made you stronger, except what it has told you that life has brought you other opportunities. But when you stay indoors, those opportunities are passing you by. You can't see them because your soul is blind to them. It's time to bring the light in. It's time to raise those hands again and say, Lord, in all things I give you thanks. Even in this ugly one, I give you thanks, because it's a raw material for God to use. Well, thanksgiving is a raw material for God to use to cause a change in your life. I will end on that note, that thanksgiving in that darkness, if you can just thank God for it, you'll be amazed at the changes that will start to occur in your life. If it's an act of God, then let God fix it. If it's an act of man, then let God fix it. Man can't, even if God is going to fix it, He's going to use a man to fix it. Then let it be fixed. It's time for you to get a fix right now. It's been a wonderful time with you. I hope you enjoyed every minute of today's episode of Lighthouse with KSB. Still me. Be good. Enjoy your life. Live your best life. The best of you still waits for you. Until then, next week.
KSB Live your life. Live your life. Cause tomorrow I promise. Live your life. Don't care what people say. Live your life. You can be who you wanna. Live your life. Your life. Your life. Your life. In my life, I've seen a lot of ups and downs. And my friends are getting tired of coming around. But my God, He will never let me down. I was lost, but with Him I am found. And then He turned my life around. And now I'm going leaps and bounds. Oh, to a shadow for me. I was lost, but with Him I am found. Live your life. Cause tomorrow I promise. Live your life. Don't care what people say. Live your life. You can be who you wanna. Live your life. Your life. Your life. Your life. Live your life. Cause tomorrow I promise. Live your life. Don't care what people say. Live your life. You can be who you wanna. Live your life. Your life. Your life. Your life.
See, in my lifetime, I've been through a lot. Through the highs and lows to get what I got. Not a lot of friends, straight through thick and thin. Nowhere to be found when the drama begins. Me, I don't try, but no be my power. Baba God, they here every hour. Now in they teach me, in they support me. When trouble come, now in they come up me. That's why I shine bright like the sun. Every time you think about the best, I'm the one. I stay golden, yes, I'm chosen. Every plan of the bad guy stays frozen. So nothing to me, and He loves me truly. Stay cool, stay fly, stay blessed. Live your life and let God do the